A very good evening and welcome to Newsline, where the human story is always at the heart of the headline. I am Claire Adelabu Abdul Razak, and I want to thank you for choosing to spend your Sunday night, as always, with us. Tonight, we will take you on a journey across the landscape of our shared realities, where courage rises quietly in corners the spotlight often misses, and of course, where everyday encounters evolve into extraordinary triumphs. And speaking of extraordinary triumphs, how about our Super Falcons? From puzzled looks in Accra to sighs in Casablanca, mild migraines in Lusaka, and damp eyes in Johannesburg. It seems the giant of Africa has once again left her mark, and we are Nigerians. And if there's one thing we've mastered, is the fine art of surprising the continent when it matters most. All right, we'll also bring you a heartbreaking story from Maiduguri and Kebbi states, where two vulnerable young girls have suffered abuse, sparking renewed calls for stronger safeguarding systems. And much later, we'll take a closer look at the disturbing trend of cars stolen in seconds with nothing but a swipe and a signal. Now, tech-savvy thieves may already be a step ahead. So on Newsline tonight, every story holds something deeply human and possibly something for you. I am your pilot-in-chief tonight of the Newsline airwaves, navigating you smoothly through the news and Newsline proper. So fasten your seatbelts as we get ready to take off with the news right now. And so they left quietly, but they will return with pomp and pageantry. This is the story of Nigeria's Super Falcons, who against all odds stand the hosts, Morocco, in the final of the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Ochengbede reports that the final match was tense as the hosts led by 2-0 in the first half.
Morocco became the battleground, but for the Nigerian Super Falcons, it was more than a tournament. It was a mission to reclaim their throne, to show Africa that queens don't fade, they rise again. From the very first whistle, the Falcons made their intention clear, dominating Tunisia 3-0 in the opener, then sealing progression with a hard-fought win over Botswana. When it mattered most, they saw higher. A 5-0 demolition of Zambia in the quarterfinal was a warning shot to the rest of the continent. In the semi-final, they clashed with old rivals, South Africa. The Falcons stood tall, stayed sharp, and booked their place in the final. The final against host Morocco was a test of spirit. 2 goals down at halftime, the Falcons roared back with Okoro, Ijamulisi, and Echigeni rewriting the script.
I didn't have any doubts because I know that Nigeria will always come out tops. It's just that they started not really well yesterday, but boom, it happened.
Actually, yesterday, everybody lost hope. I really lost hope, but I believe in our girls that they can do better.
I think the resilience and the never say die attitude of the girls and the resilience of never say attitude of Nigerians generally is what's played out.
Against the odds, they conquered. Against the noise, they rose. And for the 10th time, Nigeria stood top in African women football. A gesture the President Bola Tinubu and the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, who both watched the game, described as a victory for Nigeria.
Thank you, sir. Very, very proud of you. The entire nation is proud of you. Thank you, sir. You lifted our spirit, Christ took the old generation, and we are all very, very happy.
Thank you, sir.
You'll be celebrated, and I congratulate all the coaches and the management of the team, including the ministers and the officials.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You showed the indomitable spirit of Nigerian
But you know the popular say, Nigeria not the carry last.
At all.
Nice to see you, Madam Shifati, and the rest of you. We are waiting for you. All right, enjoy breakfast and happy Sunday.
Thank you. We love you. Goza for our first lady. Goza, Goza, Goza.
It is therefore football fans' opinion that the Super Falcons did not just win the 2024 WAFCON, they reminded Africa why Nigeria remains the heartbeat of the beautiful game. In Abuja, Oche Ngbedi, NTA News.
I didn't see Gosa for the president. Anyway, it was a very tense football, and I had my heart in my hands, literally. But I have here in the studio to speak more on this, Haruna Usman Ilerika, I should say, not, of course, the master dribbler, Haruna Olatunji Ilerika. This Haruna Usman is CAF and NFF licensed coach. He is also former coach of the national under-15 team. He's right here with us in the studio for more analysis of the Super Falcons victory at the just concluded WAFCON in Morocco. Mr. Usman Ilerika, I should add that. Thank you for joining us here in the studio.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to Nigerians.
Yes, I know you are as happy as all Nigerians, and indeed a lot of African brothers and sisters at this moment. But let's quickly look at what this portends for female football in Nigeria, and of course the broader national sporting activity.
Thank you. You know, every victory has its own uniqueness, and this cannot be an exception. The way we came back from a 2 goals down make the joy to be very more lively, and because everybody's heart was already very, very much up there, but the girls showed the resilience in them, and they were able to come back. Now, going to look at the implication, the girls are already giving hope to the younger generation. You know, it is very important that we see football from the economic perspective, which has helped so many homes to develop. When you look at virtually all these girls that won this tournament now, they are breadwinners in various families across various globe. Absolutely. And they are there. They are role models. They are serving as role model to virtually all the young footballers that are here at home. The league is a system where that produces them up to that level. Yeah. Seeing their role model up there winning nations trophy, it gives them the hope that tomorrow will be a better day for them too. So from the age of 13, 12, 15, that all these young ladies start playing football, they start looking towards what the tomorrow will be for them. Because everybody knows that if you are up there at that level, it's a big economic impact to yourself, to the family, and to the nation at large. So we have seen a very big political goodwill from the presidency to the girls, and you can see that the shout is a bit different when Mr. President told them that yes, they'll be well received at home.
I was going to ask you, just before you delve into the issue of the president, I was also going to ask you, apart from the morale booster coming from the players themselves, we've also seen recently a very high level political backing, especially for women football, coming from the First Lady. We hear the players there giving booster to the First Lady. What do you think this would mean for, when you look at the perception of women in football in Nigeria?
You see, for the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to come all out, to come and give that kind of super backing to the girls, it shows that, yes, she understands the chemistry, how women feel, how the society feel about the game, and the implication to those that are seeing the game as a means of livelihood. So this has further given them hope that, yes, if the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria can give Super Falcons this type of morale support, not only morale, even financial support, which I'm very sure will come, then those coming behind have a hope that they are not wasting their time. They are working towards an economic means for their family in the future. When you see a field of livelihood, it is natural that you look at it from the perspective that what is it generating? Everybody knows that football today is commercial in nature. It brings a lot of money, and it has time limits. And the First Lady is giving them that good political will to say, girls, go, represent Nigeria, make yourself happy, make the nation happy, and we are there to give you all the needed support that you need to become a great player in life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, we saw 2 female ministers, on that delegation, sent by representing the First Lady. But let me also ask, because people have said this particular Super Falcons team may not have that dominant spirit, as the previous teams. And what do you think might be the strategy and probably structural reforms that may be needed, to sustain this dominance in the future?
Thank you. You see, it's not as if they don't have a dominance feature just like those of the past. Yeah, when they introduced football, everybody knows that it is not that very common to start seeing women playing it, most especially in Africa. This same Morocco that we defeated yesterday by 3-2, we met in 1999 in Kaduna. We walloped them 9-0. They have only one player in their midst that looks exceptional then. Others were just robots. So, but today, when you look at all the continent in Africa, even the Muslim countries where you think women don't play football, you saw the dressing of one of the Moroccan players. Everybody have seen that, yes, this game gives a lot of joy. It gives a lot of economic benefit. So the whole nation has gotten to a level where you cannot dominate them just like it used to be in the past. Morocco has a very good structural approach. The Cameroonians are there, the Ghanaians are there. We have the Zambians. You saw how all these players, all of them have foreign-based players. That is to tell you that the era of where we dominate has gone. It is a competition now between these teams in Africa. The last edition, you could see that we came fourth. We could not even got a bronze. That is to tell you that the competition is high.
Yeah, sorry to interject. Just before I let you go, I was wondering, and a lot of people were wondering, what happened in the dressing room after the first half that changed the whole game? What do you think happened as a coach yourself?
Thank you. I think I have to give kudos to Justin Madugu-led technical crew. The essence of a coach on the bench is for you to brainstorm when there's a problem. We were 2 goals down, and they realized that, yes, the Moroccans were a bit faster than us, and we need to settle down and play this game. We're stronger, we're faster, and we have the strength, we have the speed. But we were not settling down to play the game. At the end of first half, they have to talk to these girls, and the changes they made were excellent changes.
Thank you. I think that's the answer that we were expecting. The changes they made. I was going to ask you also about laser lights, but we really don't have time. But we want to appreciate you, Haruna Usman in Lyrica. Thank you very much. You're also a hunter for grassroots football talent yourself. Many thanks to you for sharing your thoughts with us on Newsline.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, and so let's bring you also President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's congratulatory message to the Super Falcons, expressing his delight at their spectacular victory at the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations, WAFCON, stating that he eagerly looks forward to receiving them and the trophy here in Abuja. In a post-match video call with team captain Rasheedat Ajibade, her teammates and Nigerian officials, President Tinubu congratulated the team on securing a record 10th continental title and lifting the nation's spirits. I quote, "I am very, very proud of you. The entire nation is proud of you. You have lifted our spirits. You are a pride to your generation. We are all very happy," unquote. President Bola Tinubu there. And the president also extended his best regards to Rasheedat Ajibade, the captain who emerged as the tournament's most valuable player and clinched the Woman of the Tournament award, and also praised Esther Okoronkwo's composure during a crucial moment in the final, describing her 64th minute penalty kick, which sparked a dramatic comeback, as very courageous. The president says he wishes them safe journey home, enjoy yourselves, avoid injuries, and God bless you. The president told the jubilant players and officials who repeatedly interjected with, "Thank you, Mr. President." And the lively exchange ended with a spirited rendition of the national anthem and 3 thunderous Bosa, Bosa, Bosa cheers for Mr. President. And the president of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has also congratulated the Super Falcons for winning the Women African Cup of Nations WAFCON for the historic 10th time after a trailing 2-3 comeback against host Morocco. In a statement, Akpabio says he is proud of the Super Falcons, commending their team spirit, resilience, and unwavering commitment to excellence. He describes the thrilling comeback against Morocco as reminiscent of the Saudi 88 Daman miracle and the Dream Team's triumph at the Atlanta 1996 Olympics. Akpabio also rejoices with President Bola Tinubu on this noble achievement and all Nigerians over this joyous occurrence. And from the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, she has applauded the Super Falcons of Nigeria for winning the 10th Women African Cup of Nations following a landmark victory over tournament host Morocco. In her congratulatory message to the African champions, the First Lady praised their resounding 3-2 victory, noting that the accomplishment goes beyond the trophy but serves as testament to the team's hard work, consistency, and indomitable Nigerian spirit. While thanking God for the sweet victory, she says the Super Falcons have once again lifted the pride of our dear nation and cemented its place as queens of African football. Thanking them on behalf of the Nigerian women and the entire nation, the First Lady assures members of the team that they have written their names in gold and inspired millions across the continent. In other development, the management of the Voice of Nigeria, VAN, has apologized to the agency's subscribers and the general public over the regrettable publication on its website on the night of Saturday, 26th July 2025, regarding the results of Women's Africa Cup of Nations final between Nigeria and Morocco. The Director General of VAN, Jibrin Baba Ndache, in a statement, says the erroneous report, which prematurely and falsely announced the Nigerian loss before the conclusion of the match, was both inaccurate and deeply unfortunate. He emphasized that Voice of Nigeria aligns with the historic moment as Super Falcons mounted a courageous comeback to defeat host Morocco 3-2, securing a record-extending 10th WAFCON title and affirming their place at the pinnacle of African women's football. While initial reviews pointed to an internal lapse, we are also investigating the possibility of a security breach or identity theft through hacking, which may have contributed to this disturbing development, Ndache stated. The DG for that stressed that apart from ongoing internal reforms, the VAN has also undertaken strategic staff redeployments to enhance accountability, build resilience, and boost editorial efficiency across its platforms. Vice President Kashim Shatima has arrived at Addis Ababa, the Ethiopian capital, for the second United Nations Food Systems Summit. The Vice President was received by the Deputy Prime Minister of Ethiopia, the Chargé d'Affaires of the Nigerian Embassy, Ethiopia, Ambassador Nasri Aminu, among other officials of Nigeria and Ethiopia. He will join other global leaders at a high-level event on advancing the transformation of the coffee value chain, as well as engage in other roundtables and meetings aimed at bolstering Nigeria's food security drive. The summit will reflect on progress made since the inaugural 2021 UN Food Systems Summit and accelerate commitments towards building resilient, inclusive and sustainable food systems. The Vice President will also participate in other events on the sidelines of the summit designed to spotlight real-world examples of food systems transformation, promote knowledge exchange and partnership, and also inspire collective action through evidence-based solutions and creative expression. At a recent briefing by the task force on the second UN Food Systems Summit, Vice President Shatima outlined 3 key objectives for Nigeria's delegation, positioning Nigeria as a leader of thought on African food systems reform, leveraging international partnerships aligned with domestic priorities, and advancing a private sector-led model for continental food transformation. And the federal government's afforestation and reforestation effort has led to massive tree planting project in Darazu local government area of Bauchi State. The project, by a non-governmental organization known as Sala Care Foundation, I beg your pardon, is aimed at promoting sustainable land management practices and climate resilience for environmental sustainability. Bulak Afsa has the details.
Darazo is among the local government areas of northeastern states facing deforestation and land degradation. This 3,000 tree planting strategy by Tesla Care Foundation is part of efforts to strengthen the Nigerian afforestation target for the affected communities.
One of the things that we decided to do as a community is, okay, how do we give our own quota of help to our community is by planting trees. And this commissioning of today's program, we are planting about 3,000 trees across the Muhammadu Buhari way, that is our new bypass, and then we are going to go inward into the town to plant more trees.
It is an action built on the federal government's effort to strengthening climate change mitigation processes, soil erosion control, and biodiversity enhancement.
Please try and maintain these trees, sustain them, see that we enjoy what Allah has bestowed in them.
With a theme, before you cut a tree today, plant one. The yearly campaign is an action built on the previous efforts to combating desertification and land degradation across the country. In Bauchi, Bulak Afsa, NTA News.
And the Pan-African movement has lost a committed fighter for African unity. He is Professor Okelo. Although he's gone, he left an indelible mark in Africa and in particular Nigeria after 48 years of intellectual contributions. Correspondent Olajide Bello has a tribute for him.
Milk, each time you pop the top, think of the cow in Nigeria whose milk you're blocked.
Born on January 1st, 1942 in Okelo district, northern Uganda, Professor Okelo emerged as one of Africa's most vibrant literacy voices, a novelist, poet, and chronicler of rural African life. Educated in Uganda, the United Kingdom, and United States, he earned his PhD from the University of Wisconsin in 1972, with earlier studies at Makerere and Stanford. A gifted storyteller, Professor Okole's works, often Kantariti, Banana Man, among others, echoed the rhythms of African village life, laced with proverbs, humor, and deep cultural insight. His writing, like that of Okotbi Bitek, fiercely championed African heritage and challenged foreign influence. As a professor at Ahmadu Bello University, Nigeria, he brought Pan-African ideals to life, organizing annual OAU mock summits and inspiring students to believe in a united, powerful Africa. Though he has left, Professor Okole's words lives on, challenging minds, steering hearts, and lighting the path for Africa's future. His legacy is not only in books or classrooms, but in the dream of a strong, united Africa that he carried to the very end. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Let's quickly take a look at the weather prospects for Nigerian cities on Monday.
Part of the northern region in the last 24 hours, as we can observe on this satellite imagery. The heaviest downpour triggered flooding in areas like Yola South in Adamawa State, where reports are still coming in of disruption of livelihood, submerged buildings, and devastations of farmlands. Ground stations recorded significant rainfall, where Dutse saw 61 millimeters of rains, Gombe 53 millimeters. Down south, Uyo recorded 138 millimeters, and Calabar 110 millimeters of rains. These are very high numbers for a short time frame, and given the waterlogged ground, flash flooding still remains a high risk, especially across the north and the southeast coast. Over the next 24 hours, expect more thunderstorms, especially in the northern region, with moderate rains likely over the central and down to the southern cities. So if you live in a flood-prone area, Please stay alert and take necessary precautions, especially around rivers and low-lying zones. We'll keep tracking this. Please stay safe.
Thank you. And that's the news. Please fasten your seatbelt. Newsline will be back in just a moment.